Hey guys, today we have the Apple Watch 6, which is the latest Apple Watch that Apple has to offer right now at the moment. Now, I know that I'm a little bit late, but I just wanted to put this video out there. This Apple Watch was released in October 2020 alongside the iPhone 12 lineup, and there was another more budget-friendly Apple Watch which was also released, which was the Apple Watch SE. Now, we're only going to be focusing on the Apple Watch 6, which is the flagship Apple Watch, if you may. Now, one of the noticeable things that was maybe the biggest change in the Apple Watch lineup was that the Apple Watch 6 comes in a variety of colors apart from the usual space gray, which is what I have right now. I unfortunately couldn't get my hands on the other colors, which is the navy blue, and then we also have a product red Apple Watch 6, which I personally think is a little bit too flashy. It might suit some people, but for me, I only like the space gray and the blue one as well, but I would only buy that if I had the blue iPhone as well with me. So there are a few small upgrades like a brighter display, an always on display, a faster charging time, but I want to focus a little bit on the larger upgrades. These are some things that we kind of expected from a newer generation Apple Watch. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about is actually the blood oxygen sensor here. Now, Apple is actually not the first watch to have this introduced, but Apple Watch 6 is the first to actually have this. As far as measurements are concerned, this thing seems to be pretty accurate. I mean, why wouldn't it be? They obviously had some research and development behind it. But just to put things into perspective, a dedicated oxygen sensor is worn on the finger, and this one is actually worn on the wrist. It actually works by shining a light through your finger, which is then scanned on the opposite side of it, and then through some sort of magic it actually reads your oxygen level. And I was a little bit curious to see how this would actually work on your wrist, because a wrist is much more thicker. I don't know if light will actually pass through it, how accurate it will be. And that brings me on to say that if you're really concerned about your oxygen levels, if you're really concerned that this Apple Watch is not accurate, or your whole purpose is that you want to buy this Apple Watch because of the blood oxygen level, then don't do that. You will be much better buying a dedicated oxygen sensor. If that's the whole purpose of it, if you're upgrading from an Apple Watch Series 4 or a 5, I would not recommend you to buy this one, because design wise this is the exact same. Yes, there are a few other features. There are the blood oxygen sensor is there now, but that's not a reason to upgrade, at least in my opinion. The heart rate monitor, on the other hand, seems to be much more to the point, and I'm not just saying this. I actually have tested it out with the dedicated heart rate monitors, and it's very accurate, even to the point that it actually can act as an ECG and even detect irregular heartbeats, which has been known to save a few lives as well. So that's pretty awesome. Now, the ECG is not unique to this Apple Watch. It's actually an upgrade, and it's available on older generations of the Apple Watch, but it is an update that is only available in certain countries. So if your country has approved this, then depending on where you live, you may or may not be able to see this feature. Talking about the charging, this watch does have a little bit of a quicker charge time, so it fully charges from 0 to 100% in about 90 minutes. The battery life is also pretty decent, and it hasn't really changed much from the Series 5. Even with the always on display, you can always expect about 15 to 18 hours and more if you turn on the always on display. Right now I have it on the always on display at the moment, so the battery is draining a little bit faster, but if you have it off, then you can expect a little bit more, maybe 2-3 more hours of battery life out of this. But the biggest and the best upgrade on this would be the new S6 chip, which enables it to be efficient. So the S6 chip is what's giving you the brighter display, that's what's giving you the always on display, and it's also giving you the faster charge time. It also has faster animation, so maybe you can't tell that much, but coming from a Series 2 Apple Watch directly through a Series 6 Apple Watch, the difference is night and day, and you can really tell, which is why I said that if you have a 4 or a 5, you may not see much of a difference. If you have something older than that, then I think this is worth it, and in my opinion, this might be the most complete Apple Watch made up till now. Another unique and somewhat hilarious feature, which I found kind of useful, we can say, especially during this pandemic, is the hand wash detection. I'm not going to wash my hands right now. I'm not going to show that right now. But whenever the watch senses that you're washing your hand, it will begin a 20-second countdown to ensure that you're properly washing your hands the way you're supposed to, the way it's recommended. If you finish the countdown, well done. If not, then it kind of gives you like a small notification to do it better next time and to wash your hands more thoroughly or whatever. I've noted that the clock, the 20-second clock, kind of stops sometimes in the middle. So it's not really that accurate, but keeping the pandemic in mind, I think it's a really unique feature, something interesting and kind of thoughtful if you think about it. With the release of the Apple Watch Series 6, we saw a few more bands. By default, by standard, it will come with the normal band, which we've been seeing since the first Apple Watch. There is a new band, which is the Solo Loop band, and that's kind of like it's basically like a rubber band. So you don't actually have these pinholes, you don't have to tighten up. It's just closed, and you just have to kind of stretch it and wear it, and it fits really snug in your arm. And I think it's maybe one of the best bands because I found this one especially opening up sometimes. I have pretty thick wrists, and I'm only able to tighten it up on the last one. So for me at least, or for people that are, you can say, kind of a heavier nature, it kind of opens up sometimes. So it has been scary. It has the risk of falling down, and I think the Solo Loop one would really eliminate that problem here. So again, who is it for? Who is this Apple Watch for? And as I mentioned before, if you have an Apple Watch Series 4 or 5, you don't necessarily need to update. If you have a Series 3 or older, I would highly recommend getting one, since you'll be able to see the change in the design, in the animations, brightness, and the better battery life. If you want to do it just for the sake of it, then obviously you can. There's no one from stopping you. But if you want to make sure that it's worth it, then you should only get it if you have an Apple Watch 3 or below that. So as I said, I myself have an Apple Watch 2. This is the Nike edition. So comparing this to this, you can actually kind of see that the design is a little bit different. It's a little bit, the screen, the display is a little bit bigger as well. And the faces are also different. It's a little bit brighter. It's a little bit faster. The animations are better. So totally worth it if you are coming from a Apple Watch Series 3 or less. And that's basically it. So that will be all for this video. I just wanted to put up a quick video out there for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like. If you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.